Hi, I'm Paul. In this video, I'll show you how to install a microphone in OBS Studio. I also created a free PDF that you can download. There's nothing that you have to provide, like an email address or anything like that. Just click on the link in the description. It'll open up in your browser, and then just go ahead and download it. A few days ago, I created another video about the basic settings in OBS Studio and how to set it up for the first time. And then I also created a video about adding the desktop audio. I'll put the links for those two videos in the description, and they also come with free PDFs. But before we get started, I want to show you some Windows settings that you should take a look at first. Make sure you have your microphone connected to your computer, and then we're going to look at Windows settings. If you're using another operating system like macOS or Linux, you're going to have to figure out how to get to your settings for your audio out and your audio inputs. I can't help you with that. So I have the little settings gear icon into my taskbar. If you don't, and this is for Windows 10 or 11, just come over to the search box and click inside of it. If you've used it recently, you'll see it. If not, just come down here and just start typing settings and it'll pop up. So just select it. Over on the left, you want to select System, then come over to the center and select Sound. And here you see your output. I have my speakers selected right now. And if you have headphones plugged in, you'll probably see that. This is the volume control for it. And if you see an X or a slash through this, that means it's muted. Just scroll down under input. So right now you can see that I have the HyperX Quadcast. It's recognized by the computer, by the operating system. And the meter is fluctuating as I talk. Again, if this has an X through it or a line, that means that it's muted. This volume control, you can control the gain of your microphone here. I usually leave it at 100%, but if you need to turn it down a little bit, you can do that here. You can also do it in OBS Studio, but if it's too loud, you can adjust it here. Most people leave it between 80 or 90 and 100. You can see here that the Razer webcam, it's recognizing that it has a microphone. I have the HyperX SoloCast microphone plugged into the computer. That's why it's recognizing it. And if you're using two or more microphones in the future and for some reason it's not recording all the tracks, you may have to come over here and select microphone array. So there's no save button over here in this window. All you have to do is come up to the upper right hand corner and click on the X to close out of the window. I'm going to be using the PDF as I create the video, so it's easy for you to follow along with. And your screen is going to look different from time to time because I can't make certain changes in OBS while I'm recording with it. So I'll put screenshots up from time to time. So this is the user interface. This is the main panel, the main window for OBS. Yours will look different if you just installed it for the first time. Under scenes, it'll just say scene. There'll be nothing in sources. You should see desktop audio, and you should also see a microphone. It'll be labeled mic/aux. If you don't see that, that's because you installed OBS before you had the microphone plugged in. That's no big deal. It's easy to fix because you can add and remove microphones at any time. So don't worry about that. The scenes, you can have multiple scenes that you can switch between if you want. Each scene can have its own setup for microphones, cameras, images, and a bunch of other stuff. Over here, you see scene transitions. This is when you're moving between scenes. I don't need this. I just leave this as the default and I don't change anything, but you can if you want. All these docks, docking panels can be moved around and resized if you mess it up and things are all over the place. And you can drag these into other screens if you have more than one monitor connected to your computer. To get it reset, just come up here to View and select Reset UI. And I don't need to see this. It's taking up some extra space. Come up to Docs and select Scene Transitions, and that will deselect it. And now you have some more space set up. So the next thing that we're going to do, come over to Settings in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Come down to Output. This output mode will say Simple. Change it to Advanced. Then you'll see these tabs here. Again, everything is grayed out because I can only do so much while I'm using OBS Studio. But I have screenshots of all this in the PDF. So you select Recording. The recording path is what you're going to choose on your computer where you want to record the video to. You can choose different locations for each video. And so just create a folder, come over here and select Browse and browse to it, or just browse to a location and then you can create the folder as you go. Down here on audio tracks, I just have 2 selected. Normally I would have the first one for the microphone, the second one for the desktop audio. If I was going to add a third mic, I'd select three tracks. But right now, I'm not worried about the desktop audio being recorded. I'm just going to have the 2 microphones. So track 1 and 2 is selected. Nothing else needs to be done in this section. Come up to audio. I can't scroll down, but there's 6 tracks. So what you want to do is change each bit rate, audio bit rate from 160 to 320. That'll just give you better quality audio. Then come over to this audio option. The sample rate default should be 48,000 kilohertz. If not, change it to that for better audio quality. The channels will say stereo. I don't record in stereo unless it's music. So I just change it to mono, but that's just a personal preference. Come down to global audio devices. This should say default right here. Just use a drop down and select your speakers or your headphones. Everything else I leave disabled. And the reason for that is because if you select microphones or you set your microphones up here, for some reason, it's very difficult to get rid of the background noise. They're really sensitive. And the best thing to do that I've found is just leave all of this disabled. Under meters, this peak meter type, change it from sample to true peak. That's because you want to get the proper loudness for YouTube videos. I've done videos about that in the past. You want to get the loudness level at the correct level for internet platforms. And I'll try to remember to put a link in the description for one of those videos. When you're done, just click Apply and then OK. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to add the microphone for the first time. You're going to have to pretend that I don't have one added, but you can just click on any of these 3-dot menu icons. It doesn't matter which one you select. It's going to open the same window. And then you're going to select Advanced Audio Properties. And this is going to open up. Now, what you're going to see is going to be different than what you see on my screen. What you'll initially see is that under volume, it's 0 dB. The mono boxes will not be checked. Sync offset will be 0. Monitoring will be off. And then all of these check boxes will be checked. So I don't have one checked for the desktop audio because we're going to add a microphone and you're going to see what happens in a few minutes. I like setting the desktop audio and the microphones to -3 decibels to start out with, and then adjust them from there to help keep the background noise down. Again, I'm recording in mono, and even on the desktop audio, I set that at mono. You can leave it at stereo if you want, again, personal preference, especially for the desktop audio, but I just like everything mono. The sync offset, video records slower than audio. So sometimes when you're recording your video and you play it back and you see that it's not quite in sync when you're speaking. If that happens, I start out with 75 milliseconds. You can go up or down, but if your video looks okay and it looks like everything is in sync, you can just leave this at 0. But if it's off a little bit, start at 75 and then move up and down from there. So best thing to do is record a video that's maybe 20 seconds long and then take a look at it. This monitoring, that's if you have a headphone jack in your microphone. You can plug it in, your headphones into the mic, and then you can listen to yourself while you are recording. I don't like that because it has a little bit of a delay. But again, that's up to you if you want to be able to hear yourself through the audio output while you're recording. All these check boxes will be unchecked, so you want to just uncheck them all except one for each device. And again, just not doing anything with the desktop audio. That's why I'm just leaving it unchecked for now. When you're done, just go ahead and click close. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the microphone. We're going to add this second microphone, and it's the same process for adding the first microphone. Under sources, you're going to click this little plus icon, and then this window is going to open up, and you're going to come up here to where it says audio input capture. That's for your microphones, and select that. When this little window opens up, if you have multiple scenes over here and the microphone has already been added, like my HyperX Quadcast is, I could just click this radio button, click on it, and then select it and go ahead and add it. But the HyperX Solocast hasn't been added. So create new. I'm going to name it here. You don't have to name it here. You can name it later. I'll show you how to do that. And then just click OK. But what's going to happen, that mic is going to go live, and I'm going to be recording with 2 microphones, and it's going to sound bad. So I'm just going to be quiet, and you're going to hear background noise because no filter has been added to it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm just going to be quiet after I click OK until I mute it. So just watch what I'm doing, and I'll do it slow. So you've seen what I did. I just selected the microphone and then selected it from the drop down. So that's what you'll do when you're adding additional microphones, unless it's already listed, and then you can just go ahead and select it. Select that other radio button. So you can see that the Solocast microphone, it's active, it's picking up audio, but I have it muted. So I like moving the audio devices down to the bottom and then leave the images and what the webcam is capturing and what the display is capturing on top. And these go in layers. It's like one piece of paper over another. So if I click on this image and I have it deselected, you can see the little eyeballs grayed out. You can see that it's over my image. Now, if I take the Razer webcam and I use the up arrow, now that's laying over it, the image is under it, and that's why you see that little section that is hidden behind it. So this goes in layers, which is important for anything visual. For anything that is audio, it doesn't matter. If you want to rename something, you just click on it, press F2, or just right mouse click, and then you can rename. So before I start using the HyperX SoloCast, let's add a filter to it, a noise removal filter. So to do that, have it selected. So come up to filters. When this opens up, come down here to the plus icon button, select noise suppression, just click OK. There's two options. The default is the RN noise, good quality. Just leave it at that. The other one doesn't seem to work very well. You can rename it if you want to, but it's really not necessary. If you want to delete anything, just click the trash can. There's a bunch of other options, probably more suited for live streaming, except the noise gate I add on mine because of I tend to breathe in and out, and it helps to clear that up to keep it silent. I'll do a video about adding the noise gate later. I don't want to do it right now. So when you're done, just click close. And as you notice, when I'm speaking, when I stop, the meter goes to 0. If I come back up here in the filters, and you can deactivate it by clicking the little eyeball. Now you see that it's picking up background noise where I have the filter on the quadcast. And when I stop talking, you don't see it picking up any background noise. This filter works really, really well. So the next thing, again, I like to use the keep everything at minus 3 dB. You can see I have it set there. So I'm just going to use this little slider and then slide this down. And if you have a tough time getting it to the right level, I'll show you what to do. We're going to come back over to this little 3-dot icon. Select Advanced Audio Properties. And here you can see where the SoloCast was added. So to fine tune it, you can just use these up and down arrows. Again, I want it to be mono. I'm going to set it to 75 milliseconds so it has a little bit of a delay to keep it in sync. And then over here you see all the check boxes are checked. So I'm going to check everything except for the second track. This way, this microphone, the quadcast, will be recorded on one track, and the SoloCast will be recorded on a second audio track. And then when you're done, just select close. And you also want to check something else. Select the microphone, come over to properties, and I believe you can right mouse click and select properties also. And you want to make sure the correct microphone is selected. And you can use the drop down just to double check. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is switch over from the HyperX Quadcast to the SoloCast. So to mute the microphone, all I have to do is just tap it on the top for both of them. So this is the SoloCast microphone. This microphone, this is a 31st of January of 2024, currently only costs $39.99. The HyperX Quadcast is over $100, but I can make this microphone sound just as good as an expensive microphone, and I use it all the time. I did a video on microphone basics. So if you notice, the microphones, because of the camera lens, they don't look like they're that close, but this microphone is only about 3 or 4 inches away from me. This one is probably about 4 inches or so. And you're going to get better audio quality. And I don't have pop filters on them because I speak over the microphone, and this is what I go over in that video. Or if I have it in front of me like this, I speak off to the side. I speak past it. I don't speak into it. So, and all these microphones, no matter how good they are, you're going to get better audio quality if you have the microphone closer to you than farther away. Because the farther away you are, and depending on the room, because I don't have really great acoustics in here, it's going to sound much better if you have it up close. So I'm going to go ahead and mute this microphone and start using the other one. Okay, so there's one other thing that you need to be aware of. If you're capturing audio on your desktop and using a microphone, or if you're using two microphones or two or more microphones and possibly the desktop or some other audio capture device, if you use Windows and you open the video in Windows Media Player, you may only hear one track. I don't know why that is, but this is the same on my desktop and my laptop computer. If I'm recording multiple tracks, I will only hear one using the Windows Media Player. Might be something I'm doing wrong, but I haven't been able to figure it out. So what I use is Audacity, and that way record a sample video, 10, 15 seconds long. Audacity is a free audio editing program. It's easy, fast to download, easy to install. It's been around a long time. Then you can just drag your video into it and it'll just extract the audio. It doesn't damage your video file. It just pulls the audio out. Then you'll be able to see all the tracks and then you'll be able to listen to it. Or just bring your video into your video editor just to make sure all the audio is being captured and recorded. So I hope this helped you out. If it did, I'd appreciate it if you would just give it a like. And the next videos that I'm going to make, I think what I want to do, the next one is adding a webcam or a digital camera into the sources, and then also adding images or slideshows. So those should be pretty easy to do and pretty quick videos. And again, I'll put a link in the description about using Audacity. I created a video for that too. So, all right, well, thanks for watching.